You are listening to the Hello Sport podcast.
Look at the way you're backlit. Looks good. You look fucking... You look like one of those dudes who are like, you know, sort of the influencer CEO sort of guys who are like, yo, do you want to know how to like be a fucking
Do you want to create complete freedom?
Yeah, exactly. Here's
Like,
how.
do you wanna-
It's easy to make $1 million than it is to make $100,000. Those sort of guys.
Yeah. Do you want to know what paying it forward looks like?
Yeah, it's into my pocket. This is me, backlit.
This is me.
Backlit.
So, yeah. Fake tan, couple of tats.
Yeah.
Got up at 3:30 a.m. Went to the community gym. I've done way more than all you fucking losers.
Yeah.
Like, know that.
Yeah.
Know that the rest of you are fucking losers.
I read Atomic Habits.
Yeah. It's all about habits, man. It's all habits, man.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, from experience, man, that first million, man, it's the hardest.
No, the easiest. That's what I saw this guy going. Making your first million is easier than making your first 100. Even though to get to $1 million, you have to make 100, and you're just like,
I thought the first million was the hardest.
I don't know, cunt. Excuse me, part of the Dribblers.
Well, who are you going to believe? You or me?
Huh?
Who are you going to believe? You
I
or
don't
me?
know. No, well, don't believe me. That's for damn sure. I'm sitting here like a loser, not in Bali. Punters and Dribblers, welcome back to the Hello Sport podcast. Home of unqualified opinion on wavering bias. Zoom app, Eddy in Bali, me in Australia. Sickness has run rampant through the Shane Keith fucking production office house. Everyone's fucked. Cody's fucked. Willie B's fucked. Tobler hungover. Happy birthday, Tobler. So he's not fucked yet, but you got sick. I got sick. It's been a mongrel last couple of weeks. I'm back. Tell you what, nothing like a dose of sickness to remind you of what's really important in life, and that's fucking being able to get out of the house.
Yeah, well said, mate. Sickness, the enemy of the people. We've always known that. It didn't get its claws into me fully, but it was enough to just niggle away at me and annoy me. That was probably more what it was about.
Well, mate, you were still on the
you
were still on the Sudafeds. It certainly didn't bury you. I don't think it doesn't seem to have buried Cody either, the way that it's buried me and Will.
Might be something in the genome there, Tom. We can unpack at a later date. But yes, I'm in Bali, mate. A well-deserved break. You know, just coming over here to fucking relax with my baby girl, my wife, Eleonora, who I don't know what she's doing. She's around.
Cool.
She's around. Not important, mate. Not important at all.
It sounds like you've allowed her to leave the compound though, which is nice of you.
Well, listen, you know, you got to give a little. You got to give a little in relationships. And she asked if she could leave the house, go out. I've given her $5. So let's see how she goes.
Wow. What's that in Balinese denali?
About 50,000 rupiah.
Okay, nice.
It's a very easy sort of, what's the term? Exchange. Probably a little bit tough for Tommy, but for the rest of the people, pretty easy. 100,000 equals $10.
Yeah, right. Okay. Now that does sound simple. I've probably already told the story about how I tried to essentially barter with a Balinese woman. She wanted to sell me sunnies for like $20, and I was like offering her 2 cents.
You're offering her 2,000, which is like 20 cents.
Yeah. Yeah, and she was like, what? And I'm like, I know this game, doll. Don't fuck with me. I get the bartering system. And she's like, you're a fucking piece of shit.
A lot of nice watches over here, Tom, if you want me to pick you up something. A lot of nice watches.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah,
dude.
mate. Yeah.
Really nice watches.
Yep, okay.
And if Steph wants like a bag or something, like I've seen some really cheap like Pradas and stuff.
Really? How do they get them so cheap over there?
I don't know, man. I don't like. I asked the guy. I said, mate, are these real? And he said, yeah, they are. So
so maybe it's just they get made over there or something, and it's like the cost of shipping.
Yeah. Apparently they get made in the same factory. It's just like one is like sanctioned and one isn't, something like that.
Oh, okay,
but they're
like
exactly the
falls
same.
on
They're
the back of the
identical.
truck. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, well, fucking, man, hook us up.
Maybe if you want to watch it or something, man.
Yeah, dude, give me like a fucking Rolly or a Breitling or something like real flash. Get me, what else is there? Fucking a Panerai or whatever they're called. Find me something really fucking... And listen, even if they're spelt a little differently, that's probably just like different countries, I'd imagine.
Well, that's just translation, mate. That happens all the time.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, there's some Rolexes over here, ROLECKS. Rolex.
Oh, sick.
They're pretty cool, dude. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Really nice touch.
Okay, nice. Yeah,
and if the boys want like a Bintang singlet or something, I can get them that. I might Tubler a little Bintang.
Yeah,
singlet.
get Tubler one. Get him a Bintang.
You would actually love Bintang.
I used to fucking froth the Bintang singlets. They were like the softest material ever.
And it was his birthday yesterday, so maybe he does deserve a little.
Yeah, that'd be nice, Ed.
Oh, yeah, no, I think I will. I think I'll nip out and get you something nice, buddy.
Yeah, I think it's.
How old are you, mate? 27?
27 now.
He was
the big fella.
He was shit-faced in the WhatsApp last night. He was like answering his own questions.
Yeah, because no one was talking to me on my birthday.
Bullshit. I said that sounds like the perfect night.
We said happy birthday to you, and you're out with your mates, and then...
oh, fuck.
Sorry for this cough, punters and dribblers. Hopefully Tobler can edit most of them out. It's the only lingering after effect of this goddamn sickness I have. Tobler's in the fucking putting photos of himself in the chat group, looking absolutely fucking hammered with a schooner in his hand. He's like, "Daddy's feeling old today," and then feeling young and vibrant after 10 schooners, and like no one's responding. And then where's kick-ons? No one's responding. And then kick-ons is Interstellar in the lounge room. No one. I'm like, who's this cunt talking to?
I actually
trying to get a response.
I actually thought it was Tommy Birmingham replying because it said Tom, and then I realised it was Tobler replying to himself.
It's just Tobler replying to himself. Yeah, it's cute, sad, sweet, funny, all wrapped up in the one.
Not sad at all.
No, not sad at all. No.
It was great, Arvo.
Mate, last Thursday, punters and dribblers, we had our golf day at Shorty's, which was fantastic. Thank you to everyone who came. Thank you to Shorty's. But you and I, specifically me, Eddie, with I think one of the greatest lifts of modern times, just rolling in deathbed sort of stuff. Shout out to pseudoephedrine, which I never really quite understood. I've never really taken it. I've never taken medication when I'm either hungover or if I'm sick. Like, I never have been a big Panadol guy. Then my brother was like, have some of this shit, over-the-counter sort of stuff. And it works wonders. It makes you feel like you can, like it can mask a sickness like I never believed.
Mate, you did incredibly well. I certainly a more mild case of whatever the fuck you had, but energy levels dipping throughout the day. But it's impossible not to get up for your own golf day. As soon as I got there, my energy levels just started fucking peaking. Gorgeous day. Like, I'm talking fucking straight out of the gorgeous winter day textbook. 25. 26.
It's getting warm here, dude.
Like, beautiful, like spring breeze, but I know it was still in winter. Everyone's foaming at the mouth. Everyone's just necking fucking Japanese lagers like they're going out of fashion. Few fireballs start to work around the crowds and the punter and the dribbler. It was a serious vibe, dude. The course was in immaculate nick, and you and I played pretty fucking well, if I don't mind us saying. Well, you know what I mean? Which is rare for us.
Well, 3 birdies in the first 4 holes.
It's the best course there is, in my opinion, for a golf day.
But also just for like just for also a bit of a dick about with your mates. Like, where
which is what I like
you can
doing.
see everyone. It was great fun. We then went into trivia and then went into a live stream of Manly v the Tigers, which is sort of where I wanted to get to. You start sucking yourself off. How brave are you? The fact you managed to do the golf day. How bravery, greatness, bravery. Then you get into a live stream with arguably the greatest seagull to ever fucking do it, Stephen Beaver Menzies.
You're certainly the most decorated, if you include the years that should be included.
No, you do include those. I mean, I don't know what the fuck to make of that game, Ed. We were killing it. We were. Everything was going to plan. Everything was going to script. Everything looked good. Everything looked good until it stopped looking good. 16-0, Edward, and then you blink, you close your eyes, you open them again, and it's 30-16. It was a waking nightmare. We had Cody Totes, who was completely blackout. Once you know when Cody's blackout drunk because he stares through you. And we had him down the front of this live stream staring through us but yelling at us. So almost yelling through us. And then you had Felix, 6'7" of him, fucking pissed as shit and like standing in front of the cameras, yelling at us, heckling us. It wasn't a fun experience.
Fun experience. That would be putting it mildly in the extreme, Tom. I was having a cunt of a time.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. Cody, the lippiest little shit to ever exist, just nipping away, just being fucking insufferable.
And like a fucking mother at your school sport, he's like taking photos of you, like right in front of your face, but just of your sadness.
Mate, he was filming me constantly and then like getting photos of him like putting his head onto my back and shit. I'm like, if you don't fuck off, I'm going to drown you somewhere.
Yeah.
Like that's where we're at.
Yeah. Or drag him behind the
I'm going to drag you into the sink in the bathroom and I'm going to fucking end your life. Yeah. Now, please get away from me. It's been a long, trying day.
Yeah.
Then Felix, exactly, like, aren't you fucking 6'9", mate? Like, sit down and let other people enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
You're making it all about you.
Yeah.
I know you're a sales guy, and that's what sales guys do. Like, look at me making loud noises and shit. But, I mean, read the room, buddy.
You don't need to stand up, cunt. You're that fucking tall. Like we might need to move you down the back.
There's 150 people behind you that can't see shit now because there's a fucking big half man, half fucking Neanderthal hogging all the room.
Sasquatch.
Big Sasquatch here they've dragged out of some fucking bog. Anyway. Couple of drive-bys there. But I would say this, Tom, warranted because they were insufferable.
Yeah, they weren't drive-bys because those guys, fuck them. Now, listen, happy for the Tigers. On some level, I am happy for the Tigers. I tell you what, let's be positive for a second. Happy for the Tigers. Okay? You know what else I'm happy about, Edward? You know what else I'm happy about, mate? Spoon bowl. That was the funniest thing about it was Streety's there going, you fucking suck. I'm like, cunt, your team is now last. Or at least they're fighting for the spoon now. Do you realise that? I don't know if you realise that.
Not a big math guy. He was blind too.
He was fucked up.
In fact, everyone was blind except us.
Yeah.
Now.
Professional.
Just professional guys. I'd like to say this, and it's a reasonable point you make. Although on the face of it, you could look at it and you could go, okay, well done, Manly. I mean, you're peaking at the right time, heading into finals. You know, you can't even get a win over the Tigers. I'd argue a different side of the coin, Tom.
Positive.
Or maybe
positive.
Maybe a different coin entirely. We're big narrative guys.
Yep.
We love narratives, mate. You know what I mean? We know that fucking comps aren't won in August. And if you think comps are won in August, ask the fucking Penrith Panthers, who will probably still win the cunt after losing against the Raiders. You know what I mean? These rounds don't matter.
No, they don't.
These rounds don't matter. And we say to ourselves, what's good for rugby league?
Mm-hmm.
We're always thinking of Mother Rugby League first, Tom. Mother Rugby League's always come first. Game first. Without the game, we're nothing. Okay? What's great for the game? A spoon bowl.
Yeah.
Ultimate loser on ultimate loser. Most pathetic versus most pathetic. Biggest fucking disgrace versus biggest fucking disgrace. To see who's the shittest of all. That's what the league needs.
Yep. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. It's the inverse grand
is there a world
final.
though where if either of them win this weekend though, then we're fucked.
So the Tigers have the bye this weekend, so automatic 2 points. Eels have the Dragons.
So they could probably lose that.
So we are with the bye this week. We will go 2 points ahead of the Eels.
Oh,
so regardless whether
they lose,
regardless whether they win or lose, it'll be a spoon bowl.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
because Eels have the better points difference.
Okay, so they will have to win the final game.
Yep.
Huge, love it. I tell you what else, Eddie. You know, just while we take a turn to positivity, probably the loss Manly needed to have. You know, like you need to have a loss leading into finals to be like, okay, all right, we got that one out of our system, and now we just bang, 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 bang. That's a premiership.
Well, 100%. I mean, what you saw Thursday night, circa 8:45 onwards, was complacency in its purest form.
Yeah.
Writ large complacency. And you get that. You get that across the board. You get that at the highest level, at the lowest level. You get that at fucking third grade, Friday night stuff, all the way up to the big leagues. You just get it. And it was complacency writ large, and the boys will be way better for the run because you can't roll out that fucking D-list shit. You just can't. We had our foot on the throat at 16-0, and then complacency left the fucking building, mate. Like, it entered the building, rather, through the back door.
Yeah. We weren't looking at the back door. You know what else? Mate. And again, just a credit to us for not pointing out all of the potential things you could point out in terms of how we were hamstring that game. Credit to us. We might get to it, but like it's not important because complacency was...
What, the 50 send-off?
No. I don't want to... I mean, complacency had entered the building. I don't want to not make excuses. I don't want to acknowledge the excuses right there because, I mean, that's not from the cloth that we're cut, and the loss we needed to have, and we're narrative
Complacency entered through the back door, no lube, no dummy, and we let him.
Didn't spit.
And didn't spit. We didn't spit on that fang, just shoved it in.
Punters and Dribblers, the podcast today is always brought to you by Four Pines, and I'll tell you what, I'll tell you something for free. Our golf day at Shorty's the other day would not have been as good a success as it was without Four Pines, who were one of the sponsors on the day. The Japanese lager, dude. The Japanese lager. It's fucking fantastic. It's one of those beers where, I mean, Japanese lagers generally, I didn't know what to expect with a Japanese lager. But you crack open a fucking Four Pines and you'll know. You'll know. Just have a crack and then come back and tell me what you reckon. Because I've full-blown turned Japanese. And we shout out our good friends at Four Pines for their support. Available everywhere. I'd say in every single place you can get beer in the world. You can get yourself a Four Pines Japanese lager. So shout out to him. Tom Trbojevic could not have done more. Could have done more.
You saw a man who goes, okay, complacency's come in the back door, no lube, no dummy, and no one seems to be doing anything about it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw the side on my fucking back and try and get a dub for us.
Yeah.
Because he knew that we were calling the game with Beaver Menzies. First time we've done that, Tom. He knew that we're up at Shorty's with a lot of like-minded individuals, but also a couple of Lippy Tigers fans who were making life hell for me. He knew that.
Yep.
And he knew that he was in a position, given his immense strength, his immense character, and his immense skill, Tom, to do something about it. And fuck me, he had a crack.
He had a serious crack. Like, especially
fuck me, he had a crack.
Because we came back. We basically won that game. We were behind.
We did win that game.
Like, we sort of lost by 4 or 8 or something. But
pretty much won the game, considering what the rest.
Well, considering the excuses that we have that we won't lean on, but they're there if you wanted to. But
the bag of excuses.
There's a bag of excuses there. If you want to pour them out on the table, chop them up and fucking snort them. There's a big old bag of excuses there, which we're not going to use. We're not going to lean on them, but they're there if you wanted to. He was fucking immense. He did every single thing that he could. There was a few players that didn't do much, and that's annoying. But Eddie, guess what? Guess what, Eddie? We're locked in for finals.
Locked.
Entrenched. Locked, entrenched, you're welcome. So, whatever. Like, the loss is like, whatever.
Locked in. You know what I'm saying? So you can fucking sit on it and ride the cunt.
Well said, buddy.
Because we don't give a shit, mate.
No, we don't.
We're in. We're locked. We're loaded. Obviously, big narrative, guys. Let complacency come in. Excuse bag over here, as big as bloody Everest. And it is what it is. But again, I want to remind the fucking losers out there, the punters and the dribblers who are 9th down. You can't win comps in August. It doesn't fucking matter.
No.
It doesn't matter.
It honestly just doesn't
matter. It matters what happens when you fucking play. Like, you must go for the Sharks if you think comps are won in August.
Yeah.
In August. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we fucking, we got a great win over the Dragons. Give a shit, mate. If you go loss in September, who gives a flying fuck? No one. The history books certainly don't remember you.
No, they don't.
No one gives a shit.
No one cares.
You get remembered for being a fucking loser like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the whip that we needed, the kick up the arse that we needed, because there's no way we roll that bullshit out again.
No.
There's just no way.
Which, probably worth just quickly mentioning, this Friday, 6 p.m, Manly v. the Bulldogs, myself, Hectic Fred, live stream. You'll still be in Bali. Fred into the studio, Manly v. Dogs. I love Fred, not this Friday. Love Fred, not this Friday.
Yep. This will be a good test for the boys. This is the sort of game we'll get up for and work into, I reckon.
Yep. And the Dogs will then be rattled. So, and Stephen Crichton should probably be missing a game, which is nice. Not that I want him to. I'll beat him full strength as well. But if Stephen Crichton's not playing, whatever. But that does get me. It does get me to the next point. The Stephen Crichton. Did you see the hit that he put on Roger Tuivasa-Sheck?
Yes, I did.
It parlays nicely to this Manly Seagull situation that we had, which is this bag of excuses which we're not going to touch. But I'm only going to touch them in relation to Stephen Crichton. Stephen Crichton puts a shoulder into the face of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck where he's stumbling all over the place, doing the chicken dance, Edward. He's basically fucking dead.
The CD, mate,
He gets put on report, a penalty, and I can't remember exactly what the term was, but it was like there was mitigating circumstances. I don't entirely know what that is. But then when you go back to Manly, and I'm now balls deep into this bag of excuses, 3 fucking sin bins in the game. So we played, 50 minutes with 12 players for that game. Only lost by 8 points. Probably argue that's a win.
30 minutes. 30 minutes, yeah.
Sorry.
3 tens.
30 minutes with 12 players, not 50 minutes, 30
Correct.
From 80.
That would be the inverse.
It would be the inverse. You know what I'm saying? Look, I mean, I'm better, but I'm not all the way better, Eddie. You know what I mean? I'm better, but I'm not all the way better.
Tom, I'm allowing us to go into the bag of excuses.
Yeah.
And we've been led into that bag of excuses via Stephen Crichton. But once in there, it's my job just to make sure that everything's above board and everything's squeaky clean.
Yeah.
Because I don't want us going in there using these excuses incorrectly.
Correct. No, it's a great point. And we're not even using the excuses. What we're doing is looking through a bag of shit, and there happen to be some excuses in here.
That's what we're doing.
I need you to make sure that we are fucking, we are unimpeachable.
Exactly. Like, I wouldn't want to let you into the evidence room, right, and just start lining them up. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Let me just pocketing lots of cash.
Look but don't touch.
Correct.
Look but don't touch.
And thank goodness you. And that's why we work well together, because I'd just start pocketing shit.
Yeah. Is that M&M's?
And making
M&M's over there?
Is that M&M's? I'll take them. So
found on the body of a deceased man? Sure.
Yeah, great. Okay. Thank you. 30 minutes of that game, Edward. So basically a half, you round up, a half of that game played a man down. The Olakau'atu one was, again, nothing compared to Stephen Crichton. He wasn't fucking knocked out. It was all good, essentially.
Yep.
And then
no mitigating circumstances.
No mitigating circumstances. What about the mitigating circumstance that Olakau'atu's 12 foot tall and he's bent over trying to get this little dweeb and he can't. Who was it? Mac Hansen or whatever his name is? Heath Mason? Mac Miller?
Heath Mason, yeah.
Fucking
Mac Miller.
Mac Miller.
Is the mitigating circumstance perhaps, Tom? And I'm merely musing here.
We're in the evidence cupboard.
This is a man in the evidence cupboard saying no to packets of M&Ms, okay, saying no to pouring a couple out, merely musing about the fact that Stephen Crichton, one of the hottest players in rugby league right now, and that sometimes they just get the fucking rub of the green.
Yes.
Is that too much? Is that too long a bow?
Paul Gallen said flavour of the month. He accused flavour of the month.
Yeah. So me and Gal, we're talking to each other.
Yeah, of course you are.
We're getting it.
Even if telepathically. Then you have Mount Paseka put a shot on where you'd argue that was fucking worse than anyone's, and he's put on a big 6'8" Mount Paseka shoulder into some other Tigers loser. No disrespect.
Yeah. Mac Miller's mate.
Mac Miller's mate. And then over the top, Corey Waddell's come in with a bit of a loose swinging arm. Like loose. Like I'm a scarecrow. I've accidentally hung an arm out, but I'm not doing much. I'm not like...
Yeah.
And it's
you're not scaring away any crows. You're not scaring away any crows.
Man. Of course you're not scaring away a fucking crow. Bit of a whack on the mush. Bit of a mush whack. Nothing more. Didn't draw blood. Player was sweet. And then he gets fucking sent to the bin. And they were saying that he got him with the bony part of his arm. Like that... What are we talking about here? Like, what are even the words we're using? He's getting sent off because he got hit with the bony part. Mount Paseka hit him in the fucking head with his shoulder.
And, mate, I thought Paseka was gone for sure. When they brought Corey over, I go, they've got the wrong man here.
Yeah.
Then you see a fucking replay in super-duper slow-mo, you know what I mean? And it's not the super-duper I like, not like a super-duper fucking ice.
Well, there's super-dupers. No, there's super-dupers,
exactly.
not super-dupers.
Well, that's a great
They're
point.
a completely different thing.
No. They are. And that's what's thrown me. They go to super-duper slow motion, not super-duper.
No.
And they get Corey Waddell on on the bony part of his arm. So what, you're telling me if the little meaty part between your fucking, on your wrist here, which to hit it, that's play on?
Also, like
is that where we're at now?
But also, if I'm
part of the arm,
if I'm forearming you here, yeah, there might be a bit of bone like there, or
what
like maybe here. But what if I got you there? What if I swung it like that and just got that soft fine. Meaty bit? Is that all right?
Bang.
Oh no, the mitigating circumstances that he got you with this fucking this muscular bit of the forearm.
He hit him with the hard bit of the arm. What the fuck are we talking about?
It's just...
What are we talking about?
James Graham said...
You're just making this shit up. You're making this shit up.
You are making it up. And I think the guy from the guy that in the Warriors Dogs game, I don't know what his name is, like Jamie Kennedy or some shit. He's been like fucking stood down. Now, I don't know if that's...
Yeah.
Huh?
Liam Kennedy.
I don't know if he's been stood down like never to tour again. You know what I mean? Like, has he had his fucking hand in your badge and your gun? I think he should have. Hand in your badge and your gun, but I don't know whether it's just for the next round, if it's the whole season, is it he can ref games? James Graham made a good point, friend of the show. He was like, it is so fucking hard to win rugby league premierships. It is so hard. And to have potentially the fate...
Well, he'd know.
He would. He's played in like 400 grand finals, won one. And the way he won it was in the most like random way of all time. Anyway, he's like, to have potentially the fate of your rugby league future or your career in the hands of some fucking dead shits in the bunker who can't seem to be aligned on anything. Like there's no, and apologies for using this rugby league buzzword, but there's no consistency, Edward. There's absolutely none. From fucking Manly getting 12 players sent off, basically 50 minutes of the game, as I said, with a man down, to then having Stephen Crichton flavour of the month, and boy does he taste good, don't get me wrong.
Everyone's cooking him.
Everyone likes it, break me off a little piece of that. But to then have him absolutely fucking annihilate Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, who won't be able to play again this season, and nothing happens...
Doing the chicken dance, the CD.
Full-blown chicken dance.
And I think that's what enrages the punter and the dribbler more than anything, is the lack of consistency, Tom. That's all we're looking for. Consistency. I don't think it's too much to ask for. And it's clear to me, if you're basically what they're saying is, if you're a fucking no-name and you fuck up, you're off. The bigger you get, the more high profile, the more we'll have a little fucking think about it.
But then also, it feels like we're coming into finals. Let's start a little high tackle crackdown.
Mate, that's what annoys me more than anything, is that they come up with things that they want to focus on. You remember a couple of years ago, they focused on the play the ball? And blokes they were blowing penalties left, right, and centre.
Well, Crawley called for a play the ball crackdown the other day, and it was like crawls.
It's not necessary. It's not necessary. We don't need. It doesn't improve the game at all. No one gives a shit. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, if you want to go the either letter or the law, then we can have a little fuck. You'd have to have a look at it, but it's not worth the juice. Do you want to get you want to get a measuring tape out on every set and make sure they're back to 10? Because I guarantee you'll be fucking blowing penalties the whole game. It's annoying.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Why do I have to say this every fucking time, Tom? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Origin's the best form of the game. Why? Obviously, it's the greatest players playing each other, but there is a singular element that is better than regular season games. They put the whistler way, generally speaking. That game 3 was amazing. Why? Very few penalties. Stop fucking blowing penalties and let the game play. People are going to get clipped around the head. No one gives a shit. Just use it for the shocker. Use it for the shocker. Like, is it that hard? What are we
or
doing?
just like the ref call it on the field. If the ref sees it, call it. If he misses it, play on. Like what?
He's not going to miss, but he's not going to miss a shocker, Tom.
Exactly.
So just fucking shocker.
Yeah.
It's the shocker rule. If it's a shocker, you're off. That's it.
It was absolutely fucking insane, dude. It was very frustrating, Edward. But listen, we got through it. It's done now. I don't know. Is it Monday today?
Yeah.
Graham Annesley will be out somewhere. He'll have to front some fucking. He'll be doing something where he's either going to be like, no, it was a good call. Yeah, it was a good call. He'll probably come out and say the ones that happened to the Manly boys were good, and then he's like, but we should have also got Stephen Crichton, as opposed to being like, maybe we need to chill the fuck out. Stephen Crichton probably should have gone to the bin. Well, should have gone to the bin. And then that's it. But like, I don't think Stephen Crichton should have been sent off, but I'm sure they probably would have been like, yeah, he should have been sent off. Like,
no.
I get it. If the Warriors lose a player, it's a critical part of the game, whatever, but still, to send someone off just changes the whole fucking game.
I don't like send-offs. Send-offs are too much.
Send-offs should just be for like the most brutal or the most,
mate,
illegal.
Like, the most illegal. Butt stuff, nut stuff, you know what I mean?
Butt stuff,
intentional
yes.
biting,
Yeah.
all that sort of shit.
Butt stuff. Definitely butt stuff.
Hopper sort of stuff.
As we wrap up the I guess Manly and the Wars, but just back to Manly quickly. I don't know about you. This was just an observation from that game, though.
You making observations?
Oh, listen, I do from time to time. Jeez, it would have been nice to hold on to the finals.
You just saw Latu get into his workout there.
Yeah.
Did you see that ball that Latu gave? Oh, my God. I almost had a wank in front of 108 people. Like, it was...
I know. If it wasn't for the fact he was in Tigers gear, I would have. I would have tossed you off. I would have tossed you off.
I would have unfurled the old fella. I said, Tommy, work this bastard because fucking Latu's got me going big time.
And then Samuela, who you also then see in a post-game photo next to fucking Homole Alakalatu, they're the same size. Okay, didn't realise we let go of someone that fucking big and powerful, same size as Homole. He then scores a try on full time. Like, I just would have liked to have kept him. At
the very least, Tom, at the very least, Tom, I would have liked, as would have you, as would have the members, Tom, just a little insight into why we didn't want them. That's all I want. Why didn't you want Latu? Why didn't you want Samuela? Why didn't you want Humphreys? Why did you want Josh Schuster? Talk me through these decisions so I've got closure at the very least. That's all I can ask for is closure. You know what I mean? What happens when your pet die? You say a few words and you bury the fucking thing. You don't leave it rotting out in the fucking backyard. You know what I mean? There's got to be closure.
Or just put him in a placky bag and whack him in the bin for the garbos.
There's got to be closure.
Yeah.
That's why we have funerals, punters and dribblers, and we have not been able to mourn the loss, in my opinion, of Latu and Samuela. And then the first time we come up against them, Tom, they go out there and they fucking spank us.
Yep.
It was not a pleasant experience in the slightest. And again, no one's been able to explain to me what the fuck went wrong. Because we'd been hearing, like Guru, he who can spot someone of the right ilk, generations before they do the damn thing. He spots them out of the womb, that big fella. He was saying that Latu might be the best he's ever seen. So I just want the club to explain to me why you let someone that highly revered go. Yep. That's all. That's all I'm asking for. Yep. And I don't think I'm asking too much.
You're not. You're really not, buddy, just so you know. You're not asking too much.
And again, you and I never watched them really play because they were never fucking given an opportunity to. So when they go out there and play like that, and I'm asking me mate to whack me off in front of 108 brave souls, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Would have been
the
nice to do that in
situation where
Manly colours, you know what I mean? I would have liked that opportunity.
It had certainly been my preference, Tom.
Yeah.
To have you whack me off over, our own.
Yeah. Yep. Now, I think it's only fair that we give maybe Cody Totes just a moment to speak on it. Maybe he doesn't remember.
Do a shit.
You're going to go do a poo while he does that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take the headphones in with you.
No.
I know.
Right, I get it over.
Yeah, go on, Cody.
I don't have too much to say. I think you've covered it well. I was just shocked. I couldn't believe it. Like, I was going into that game, as you guys know, I was very pessimistic in the lead up of the week. Felix was kind of a bit more optimistic than I was.
Well, that's the sales guy.
That's the sales guy.
Yeah.
He said that morning that in the shower he started to believe that the Tigers might be able to win, and he was saying it all day. He's like, I had this moment in the shower, and I think the Tigers might get it done tonight, and it was so infuriating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming. I was like, I think, probably the most part of where my lippiness was coming from on Thursday night was just like the shock. And I thought it was just the funniest thing ever that we were, and, forgive me for having a mind blank. I couldn't remember where the fine news came from on that night. So I just had to keep asking you.
Yeah, you did
just
keep
to
asking us.
just to remind me.
Yeah, that was great.
But no, it was a good night. Good night to be a Tigers fan.
Yeah. Bet you're disappointed
that
you weren't on
wasn't
the
too
hill as well.
I was actually in the end. I was like, damn it, I'm gutted I didn't go.
Sucked in.
Yeah.
Sucked in.
I got to hang out with you guys, and again, thanks for hanging around at the end and taking photos with me. It was really nice of you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. Happy to take
You're
photos
welcome,
of you.
mate.
Yeah, given how
anytime.
fucking sick we were as well, I'm just glad that you're now sick. I guess that's also a silver lining that I was able to make you unwell. Eddie, I mean, I'm just going through a couple of games here. Broncos defeat the Eels. That just gives us the spoon bowl. Sure. There's not much to it there, really. Eels suck. Eels were 16-0 up as well. Broncos came back. Now, I can't talk too much shit given where we were at against the Tigers. But
She talked.
the Eels.
Mate.
Streety trying to talk the Eels up to me. They signed this kid from the Panthers, a young fullback called like Longy or Songy or something.
Yeah, Iongi, I think he's
Iongi. And and he's apparently like a really gun player. But Streety doesn't want to acknowledge how bad it is that they lost Blaze. And he's like he does acknowledge it, but he's like, well, it's basically just like a like-for-like swap. I'm like, but it's not though, is it? It's not a like-for-like swap because one of them's playing first grade.
Yeah. The history books should say May. I use May almost generously.
Not Taylor May.
No. That it was a good signing, but at this point in time, Streety, right this second, not good.
Not good.
Losing Blaze, not good at all. Not good at all. He's one of the hottest pieces of asses in the comp, and he's not interested in playing for the Eels. Lot of unknowns at that club right now, dude.
Yep.
I would not want to be an Eels fan.
They're letting go of RCG.
Yeah, I read that.
I wonder if that's, but I wonder if that's
Jason's
like a
plan, not in Big Cock's plans.
No, I know he's not in the Donk's plan, but like, but is that a financial thing? Is he getting paid too much money for the Donk, or is it about you're not good enough? Because like, I just don't think. I don't know. I'm like,
how old is he now?
31.
31. Okay.
Yeah. There may be a feeling internally, Tom, just to use some rugby league coaching jargon, that the lemon's been squeezed.
Yeah, Donk Rolls might feel like he can't squeeze any more juice out of that lemon. That's fair.
You know what I mean? Just lacking a bit of oomph, lacking a bit of go forward, mate.
Sure. Kevy still thinks the Broncos are going to make finals. They can, I think, technically. I don't know what needs to happen.
Yeah, there's like 4 teams on 26 points from 9th till 12th.
So the Broncos can still make finals. That would be insane.
Broncos, Dolphins, Knights, and the Raiders are all on the same points.
So St. George are on 28 points. Who do they play? They play
Para?
the Eels. They'll win. And then
Probably.
Raiders at home. So St. George have got to lose one. Broncos have got, okay. hang on, Broncos, fucking calm your collective farms. You got the Dolphins at Suncorp, which you're not likely to win.
Well, the Dolphins just got their assholes blown apart by the Storm.
It's just something about fucking Wayne Bennett in these derbies, though, that you can just never really be fucking sure about. And then you've got Storm. They've got the Storm in the final game. I guess Kevy's of the belief or the hope, I would suggest, that the Storm just rest absolutely everybody.
Matty Johns was saying he thinks the Storm will rest this week as opposed to next week. He thinks that because they're going up to North Queensland this week, and he thinks they'll rest this week because it's like a travel up to Queensland, all that bullshit, and then he'll have them playing so they're in. Like they're at
Suncorp the week after, so they're still travelling.
Yeah, FNQ a little bit more, I guess.
Bit further.
Bit further.
Sure. But, I mean, Kevy, I think, smoking something. I reckon the Dragons go win-win, and it doesn't matter.
And then that's it, and then it's done. It's a wrap. Dragons making the finals. I mean, Jesus Christ. Jesus.
I am not doing that again.
No.
And you and I just need to be a bit more fucking considered. I need to start doing pros and cons columns. And when I was coming up with reasons why I thought the Dragons would win the spoon at the start of the year, it was, I'm telling you right now, it was basically one column. It was, are they a DMC? Yes. And then that was basically enough for me. I go, okay.
And like, am I emotionally... Do I get an emotional reaction from their existence? Yes, I do. Okay, so what is it? They're a DMC. Tick.
Yep.
I don't like them as a club. Tick. There you go. They're going to come last.
And then why not West Tigers? Do you like Benji and want him to do well? Yes. That was basically how I came up with it.
Yep.
That was the reasoning. Whereas if I just stopped for 1 second, Tom, and said, is Shane Flanagan the coach now? Yeah, he is. Well, what's Shane done as coach? Oh, that's you built two fucking sides from nothing essentially and won a comp by himself with a side that historically doesn't stack up.
Well, it's a good side. It was their first ever premiership.
But the halves are a bit questionable. It wasn't an elite side all time, and he gets the fucking job done against a stacked Melbourne Storm side in the final. Shane can coach rugby league.
Yeah, he can.
There's just no doubt about that. Yeah. And the fact that I just ignore that and I don't pay it any relevance at all. Shame on me.
Shame on you and me.
Shame on me.
I will say this as well, and it's probably worth noting, I'm starting the Dragons as a club. I'll always hate the Dragons. Same with the Eels. Always hate the Eels. I do like Dragons players, some. Like Lomax, I can't fucking help but be a big Lomax fan. Ben Hunt, of all cunts.
2024, one of the great years all time for Zach Lomax.
Yep.
Everyone now sucking him from the back.
I like Jack Bird. I like
big fan.
Moses Sully.
Well,
I like Tyrell Sloan. Now, I don't like all of the Dragons players, but, I like that they've signed Cook. I like Shane Flanagan. I like that they've signed Val Holmes. I can't help these things, but I don't like the club.
Big Ben Hunt guy.
Big Ben Hunt guy. Of all cunts.
I mean, of all cunts. No one's caused me more pain, Tom, in the last 4 or 5 years, except him. And yet, here I am, professing my love for the man. So, again, shame on us for not reading the fucking room there. Yeah. That's how bad. But I'm not anti the Dragons being in the finals. I'm really not. I don't hate them on the same level as the Eels. The Eels being in a spoon bowl, that's good for the soul.
Yeah, and I'll be going for the Tigers. The office will be it'll be a pro Tigers office here for that game. What day is the game?
Good question. Let me look.
Surely it's
Friday night at 6 p.m.
Oh,
at Campbelltown.
At Campbelltown, you going to go to that?
I don't know.
You've got to go to that, mate.
Or we make him. Or if you don't go, you do it your own live stream. You and Felix just sitting there watching the game with Streety.
Oh yeah,
that'd be funny.
That actually could be funny.
I'll do that.
That actually would be.
That actually could be funny. Panthers lose. Can they win without Cleary? No. They can't win this comp without Nath. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say, though. It's not
they can't win. I don't think they can win the comp without Cleary. I think you'd have to be fucking mad as a cut snake to think that. That's ridiculous. Absolutely not. Cute little bromance between Elliot Whitehead and the big fella.
Stick was crying. Stick was crying post game talking about it. He said if he wasn't playing, he'd be my best mate.
Dude, that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay. That's how close they are. That's how much he means.
As
Elliot
soon as
Whitehead
he's not a
in tears
player, he's going to
crying
be
about
my
the
best
fucking
mate.
club, mate.
Yeah.
Elliot's crying about the club. It's beautiful stuff. You know, it means a lot to him down
Does
there.
Ricky, listen,
where they're relocated.
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful scenes. You love to see, it's rugby league beauty in just in its purest sense. I just would have thought Ricky already had a best mate. Does Ricky have a best mate out there who's heard that and been like, what? What about me?
Well, I thought Ricky, it isn't fair.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I was of the opinion that Ricky was best mates with the Furners.
Poor old Don Furness sitting there now.
Like CEO.
Yeah, Don and fucking Dave.
Well, that's what Don and Dave, the Furners, that's how I refer to them. A couple of D's in there potentially. I think there's a very good chance, Tom, that Sticky's best mate's sitting there hearing that pretty cut.
Rattled. So I've just been...
So you're telling me this time next year we're not best mates anymore, or once the season ends? Because is Whitehead retiring?
Yeah. Well, he's gone back to England.
5 weeks, so they can't be best mates.
Well, they can be best mates, but they can't be best mates while Ricky's coaching him. So whether it's retirement or he's going to play somewhere else, that's when they become best mates once the season's over. So if you're Don or Dave Furner or fucking, I don't know, Mal Meninga or whoever the fuck else is his friend, his best mate, it's like, oh, I'm on the clock now?
So how long have I got? I've got 2 weeks, essentially.
Yeah.
You got about, 11 nights or something to still be best mates before Elliot swoops in.
Becomes gazumptia.
Seems tough.
Yeah, well, it's a bit fucking harsh from Ricky, but I guess
Tough.
it's rugby league.
Well, Ricky's always spoken his mind, and he's not afraid to let the tears out either, Ricky, which I respect in a modern man, Tom.
Yeah, well,
especially in a modern man who's from an older generation. You know what I mean? He's been through that tough, we don't cry sort of bullshit, but now he's just letting it out.
Well, he's had to become.
He's in tears when Jack Whiten leaves. He's in tears when Elliot Whitehead's leaving. The man's just a fucking mess. And I just hope that he's got an emotional connection with the players that are left.
Do you know what you call that, Ed? You call it evolution. You call it emotional maturity, emotional intelligence. Sure, he did come up in an era where if you cried, you were called a soft cock. And then now he's learned, probably from players, probably from the next generation, probably from his family, that what? It's okay to cry, and it's okay to be a 60-year-old man with a 30-year-old best friend who's about to retire. That's cool, dude.
Tell you who's laying in their grave right now, clapping. CD, Charles Darwin, dude. Just that evolution. He's just fucking. He's just.
Yeah, it's another tick in my column here,
mean?
Charles. I told you it was real.
I told you. I mean, look, you don't believe in evolution? What's that then? What's that? Okay? An Australian half. A man hard as fucking nails, right? Comp winner. One of the greats all time. Comes from an era where you snap cunts, you drank piss, you played concussed, and you never cried.
Yeah.
That's it, baby. That's the generation.
Called
now
Ricky.
He's Eddy crying every week.
Called Ricky. No one's called Ricky
players
anymore.
To fight each other at training.
Yeah.
No one.
No one is called Ricky. And if they are, it's probably a chick.
Seriously, is a chick. I mean, that name died with Ricky Martin in man. Let's be honest. And here you've got Ricky Stuart out here crying every week for his players. And I think that is one of the greatest examples, if not the greatest example, that evolution is all around us. And Charles Darwin, another dub.
Whitehead's going to the Catalans next year.
Going to Catalans. There you go. Get some crumpet. No wonder Ricky wants to be best friends. He can get over there and fucking rip with him. Now, Storm beat the living shit out of the Dolphins. That isn't that shocking. Apparently they broke the record for the most line breaks in a game. It was something ridiculous.
Wow.
For the season, maybe. It's like 14 line breaks or something absurd. But the commentators were actually like, they almost said the fact they did that many line breaks and it wasn't like 70-0 It was almost a positive for the Dolphins, even though they got beaten like 40 to fucking whatever.
Yeah, right.
Season record for line breaks?
16.
16. There you go.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So just carving them up at will.
Carving him up, dude. But Farlongo's try, where you see the ball rolling towards the line, he then puts his hand on it. The commentator's adamant, no try, and then it was sent up. Again, this is fucking lucky dip of the bunker sort of stuff here, but sent up. It was given a try. It was sent up a try, and it was given a try, I believe. So, like, referee said to try, so the bunk had to overturn it.
Yep.
And say that it was 100% no try. How do you seen the video now?
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
It appears to my eye that that's on the line. It appears that when he's fucking pushing his ball on the line, it's when he puts the ball down, it's on the line.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like to me.
I'm going to devil's advocate this. I'm devil's advocating it because I don't know whether it was just that in the moment in the game I was like, I'm in the mood for some tries.
To me. Yeah.
If you're watching it, right, when
the angle's not that great.
Like the millisecond where his hand makes contact with the ball for the first time, like there's a point where the ball is still not lent down and touched the line. So, like, you could argue that, like, from that angle, it does look like it's touching the line. But if you just look at the positioning of the ball, which is still sort of up on its...
Yeah.
And you're like, the second the hand actually touches the ball, it almost forces it onto the line. But before it does that, it makes contact whilst it is still in the field of play.
The angle isn't good either because it's shot from behind the try line.
So you can't see where...
So you can't see where the line ends that well.
Yes.
Like you can't see because there could be grass there that you just can't see.
You just can't see.
Because the angle, it's not side on. I wonder why there isn't a fucking line, a camera that just goes straight up the try line.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. I always thought like
or the dead ball line rather. Wouldn't that make sense?
I think it would make sense for both try line and dead ball line to just have exclusive cameras on either side.
I'm talking up the guts.
Yeah. Directly
up the guts and
on the line, shooting straight down either one. And maybe there is.
Because that angle gives you fuck all.
Yeah, but also if there was, like, why aren't they showing it to us? You know, they're always like, oh, the bunker's got more access to more camera footage. It's like, surely you'd just show us that, wouldn't you?
That angle you get there shows you absolutely fuck all.
But I just don't think that one's as much of a howler. People are like, just in the context of the whole weekend of fucking weird bunker decisions, I'm like, that to me is B's dick stuff.
Is that being given like
howler status?
People are trying to categorize that as howler. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's very close.
You can't be sure. You can't be 1,000% sure given the angle of the camera
and that it was sent up a try. Like it was sent up a try, so you have to overturn that with you have to be with undoubtable evidence that whatever the fuck it is that it's actually touching the line
without. There can't be any doubt, Tom.
Beyond reasonable doubt.
Beyond reasonable doubt. And I think there's a little bit of doubt there.
I think there's a little bit. If you freeze it, I've been freezing it. I've just been looking at it going like, there's a world where that's a fucking try.
I'm not upset either way.
No, not really.
Because the eyes can deceive punters and dribblers. You got to remember that. The eyes
they
tricks.
do deceive.
It was weird, though, they didn't show any angles at all.
Completely.
It went up a try and it didn't. And again, initially I was like, no try. Now from hearing the way you've explained it, I've kind of come around a bit. Live, it didn't look like a try. Then it went up and it didn't look like a try. So, and usually they have another angle from like the other side of the field that they show, but they just didn't even show it. And then it came, like the try confirm was so quick. Like it was like, it just like, it was hardly like they looked at it. They just went up and they went, oh, yep, try. And I think that's probably contributed to the narrative a bit of everyone being like, hang on a second.
What the fuck
why have we not even looked at that? Because
you've not even had a gander.
Exactly, which was strange. But no, now that you say it, like there's definitely an argument for when his fingers first touch the ball, that it's potentially still, the ball's kind of like on that angle where it's up.
and just rolling onto the line.
Yeah, and I'm kind of happy to just let it slide now.
Just in a photo in the WhatsApp, someone slowed it down, and when he first puts his fingers on it, like the freeze frame looks like the ball's in.
It looks like it's just in.
Yeah.
B's dick sort of stuff, but not a howler, and certainly not when the fucking ref sent it up a try. I actually think if he'd sent that up a no try, there's almost enough evidence to overturn no try. Almost. But probably not. It's fucked. Like it's a flip of the rugby league coin.
They just don't do themselves any favours, I think, in situations like that. I don't know.
No, I know, because it's just like, why don't you give us as much information as you possibly
Just
got?
explain that better.
Biggest mistake of the weekend, Eddie. I'll tell you what it is. Obviously, I didn't make about even last week because I was fucked. But what I did
you put bets on?
Yeah, I did. None of them got up. But this is where the mistake came from.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, I'm going to say it may have even been a Wednesday. I don't know. But friend of the show, Angus Crichton, debuts a business time haircut. All shaved off, business time ready. I then leave a comment on the post. A businessman with a business time haircut and the business end of the year. He then goes out and scores fucking 3 tries against the Titans, who he was almost fucking kicked out of the Roosters for Dave Fafita. The man's out there to prove a rugby league point, and he scores a fucking hat trick.
Mm.
And then he posts up a photo of him. He posts up a photo of him going like business time.
Were there 3 businesses in your comment?
Yeah, there were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not nothing.
It's not nothing.
That's not nothing.
Yeah.
The man had just been to Bali recently. He's well rested.
Cunt, he was in Bali as well. Fuck.
In Bali as well, mate.
Oh.
He's come back mucho relaxo, just ready to rip and tear at the business time of the year. So business time man with a business time haircut for the business time of the year. 3 businesses equals 1, 2, 3 tries.
Yeah.
The man's a fucking stallion, best back row in the comp. It makes a lot of sense. But you've got to be actively looking, Tom. And you've got other things on your mind, like golf days, like sickness, like
kids who are also sick.
Families, sick wife.
Sick.
Like when you got things on your mind, when things are starting to, take away your attention, you miss things like this. You just miss them.
Yeah.
And that's upsetting.
Yeah, it is. Look, it is what it is.
That's upsetting. The Roosters peaking.
Bro, they're second now. So the Panthers lose. They're now 4th.
Peaking.
Sharks 3rd, which is just such... I know I said the Storm were a false economy, and I was very fucking wrong because they beat the Panthers, and I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm prepared to own that. But the Sharks at 3rd is just mind-blowing.
It's, mate, it's goats on a damn wall sort of stuff. It just is. I know they started well, but they grind out wins, and credit to them. They don't have that many fucking howlers in them. But even still, when you just eyeballing the side, knowing Nico's not even playing, you're like, how?
Yeah, it just feels a bit how.
Fuckish.
But
how have you done that?
The Roosters in second place. So now
Roosters are real PT, Tom. That's premiership threat.
But they you know the issue for the Roosters, and I say this with the utmost respect, always. I'm always a respectful guy here. They don't defend very well. Like if you're going to go and win rugby league comps,
they'll need to score. Well, they're going to need to score 80 points.
That's what you're letting fucking 20 in from the Titans. No disrespect, they've got a good attacking side, but if you're going to be a PT premiership threat, like you got to defend better.
Yeah, and they're not.
You're not.
You're right. Their leak is an old sieve, Tom.
When we played them, it was like 34-30.
It was 34-30, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and again, we're obviously a premiership threat.
64 points. Fucking outrageous. We got a bit of sieve about us as well, Tom.
Oh, we've got sieve. We can score points, but our sieve work is really good at the moment.
Yeah,
which isn't a good thing.
Elite sivemanship, you know what I mean? And there is concern that at the pointy end of the competition, I'm talking Roosters here, Melbourne of 16 line breaks over the weekend fame and Panthers with Cleary back fame are just you might be a bit civvy. You might be too civvy.
Yep. Bit civvy.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Bit civvy. Civvy is in like a civ as opposed to like civilian. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Yeah. And not Sibian. Jared Hargraves, I think, just fresh back from suspension, puts a fucking rugby league shot on Sam Verrills and then gets sent for 10 and he's now on report and could potentially be fucking out again. I mean, and given the time of year, like back for a fucking quarter final or some shit, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how long he's going to get rubbed out for, if at all, but you'd assume he will. It's Jared.
Bit of ill feeling there against an old teammate.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. He seems like a good fella, Jared, but he does like to kill people on the field.
It's just part of his soul, mate. It's part of his makeup, part of his DNA. It's what makes us love him, but it's what makes him spend a lot of time on the pine as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Getting into sneezing season, punters and dribblers. We're coming into sneezing season. And I haven't had anything to start. It's preventative season.
You need to leave the office today and go and do something about it.
I am.
Because every year you go, mate, I fucking left it too late. You've already left it too late. So
no, to be honest, and it's amazing it's been caught on film. That's the first sneeze. That's my first sneeze of the season. Okay. Are you doing baby talk with your baby girl?
Just a friend of ours just had a daughter. Very exciting.
Oh, lovely. I thought you were doing some baby talk. Do I know him?
No. Yep, Sarah.
Oh, nice.
And Toby.
Another one.
Congratulations.
Jared got a 3-week ban.
You got a 3-week ban?
Yeah.
Punters and dribbles, I don't know if I have said it on the podcast either yet, but I'm actually having another daughter in January. Just a side note. There you go. Just when that came up. Fucking shitloads of kids. Girl dad and that.
Congratulations, mate.
Thank you, buddy.
Thrilling.
Thank you.
Very exciting.
Chaos will be my life. It already is, but even more so. But I'm very pumped. Jared got 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So the final 2 rounds of the season, first week of final.
Plus the first week, which at this stage would be them versus the Sharks.
Yep. Again,
at
probably.
Home.
Yeah. You don't really care. As in, that's where you'd want to.
Well,
I'm saying that's one you'd be happy to lose him for. But what about Spencer Leniu? Is he? Because he fucking. I think he got sent off as well, or at least he got put on report. But you go, okay, well, we don't have Jared, but we've got Spencer and we've got Lindsay Collins and we've got Terrell May, I assume, unless he's injured or some shit. But, oh, okay, and we're not going to have Jared for the Sharks game. Boo-hoo. Tigers will go loss. Sorry, Sharks will go loss.
You would think so, Tom. If you're following the trend line, which is Sharks and finals games, they typically start with an L, end with an S.
Yeah. Loss.
Or just loss. You know what I mean? I think last year they were lost. The year before that, they were loss. They're just big loss guys.
Yeah, no disrespect.
No disrespect. It is what it is. I'm merely pointing a matter of facts.
Yeah. Just a break in the podcast, punters and dribblers, to thank our friends at Ned's. They are long-term sponsors of us, and without them, any of the things that we do here wouldn't be possible. So just want to give a big old cheerio to Neds. If you do like to have a punt like we do, then support the people who support us and do it with Neds. You can follow along on our profiles. You'll see that I'm not very good at betting if you do want to go and look at the bets that I've put on. Or you can jump in the Neds group where we all share our bets and share a laugh. Shout out to Neds. We love you. Let's keep fucking going, Neds. Let's keep doing it. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website. I've only got 2 more things for you, Eddie. I know that you've got coconuts to consume. You've got, you're going to Uluwatu. You're going to go and sun that fucking cocky, or you're going to go and live your life.
Correct, I am, yep. Correct, yep.
So I don't want to take up too much of your rugby league time.
That's all right, mate. That's all right. I'm enjoying myself.
Couple of stories, non-rugby league related, of the global persuasion, of the Australian and global persuasion, which we need to get to before we go.
This wouldn't be things that aren't rugby league, things that try desperately to be rugby league, but at the end of the day just aren't rugby league.
Masquerade
and tries they might to be rugby league, to be like rugby league. They just fall short of being rugby league because at the end of the day they're not rugby league. Is that about it?
You're damn right. You're damn right. Now, I don't want to get aggressive here. I don't want to start calm, and I want to start. This is us breaking down a situation on face value. I've already put up a video about this last week, but we didn't get to it on the podcast because we had the great and powerful Jess Fox on, whom we love and we thank again for coming in. This little fucking worm who knew 6 months prior to the Olympics that he wanted to defect to Great Britain in the cycling, but didn't tell anyone because he wanted to fucking suckle off the teat of the fucking nation, leech off the teat of the nation, wanted us to invest our resources, our fucking funds into this worm. And again, I'm staying calm here. Goes to the Olympics, wins a couple of silvers and bronze, which is fine if you're an Australian, but if you're a fucking leeching worm who's just trying to defect, then it's not good enough. And then after the Olympics, fucking the Olympic torch still smouldering, and this smug little cockhead has come back and been like, "Oh, actually, I'm defecting." I don't know what his name is, like Matthew Richardson.
Yeah.
Matthew Richardson. I'm going to Team GB. And I've had insiders from the cycling world DM us and be like, yeah, he's a fucking worm. Again, maybe not true. That's just, that was what I was told. And again, trying to stay calm here. But like scumbag shit. We fucking invest money in you. You knew the whole time you didn't want to fucking ride for Australia. There's probably some kid out there with big, thick quads who wanted to ride for his country and was robbed of the opportunity because this sleeper cell piece of shit got in his way, and then as soon as he gets a bit of fucking how are you, he pisses off.
Think of the quadzillas, mate.
Yeah.
Think of the quadzillas, the Aussie quadzillas out there who are all quad and nothing else, who dared to slip into the green and gold lycra, get out there onto the track and represent their people. You know what I mean? Instead, the taxpayer, Tom, you and I.
Hardworking Australians.
And if you pay tax in this country, you know you get your fucking sack ripped off. I'm happy to do it. But it hurts.
I want it to go to the right places though as well, Eddie. I want my tax dollars to go to the right place.
100%. I want to know that my hard-earned going to people that deserve it or need it, or both. And I'm happy to invest in quadzillas, although aesthetically they make me sick. Not the point.
No, at some point it's too much.
At some point, it's too much. We can all acknowledge there is a threshold between too much quad and not enough.
And also, Eddie, too much quad and not enough as it plays into the upper body.
That's exactly. I mean, we all know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm happy to part with my own hard-earned and invest in the quads of this nation if it means that the recipients are A, thankful, and B, they win fucking medals for the country.
And C, they're Australian to their core.
Now, what I find most egregious, and that's with a capital E, punters and dribblers, is that this fucking worm, this bottom feeder, this fucking little TC, this little turncoat, comes out days after the Olympics. Days. Like, read the room, bruh. And goes, I'm defecting to Great Britain. And the reason I didn't say anything earlier is because I didn't want it to affect my selection. Oh, you didn't want it to affect your selection, did you? You little fucking mutt.
You little
Of
worm.
course it was going to fucking affect your selection, you mutt, because we've invested countless taxpayer dollars into you under the proviso that you were Australian to your core and you're going to go out and you represent your country on the highest fucking stage with aplomb. Why, if we just park all the bullshit for 1 second, why did you come out a day later?
Dude.
Come out fucking 2 years' time, you little mutt cunt. What are we doing? Come out in 2 years' time when no one had even noticed because no one cares about fucking cycling. People care about cycling in Olympic years, no offense.
No offense.
And that's it. And that's no offense to Chef Demir's bloody
Anna Chef de Mission, or Chef de Mir's Anna Mission.
You know what I mean? Like we've got respect for cycling, but only every 4 years. And
we got respect for cycling. Let's just finish the sentence there. We've got respect for cycling. Don't ask us when. Just know that we do, right? Yes. And this little worm, this mutt fuck, he's bloody come out and been like, well, I think I repaid the Australian taxpayer by winning silver and bronze. Like, you fuck off, cunt. No, you didn't, because it's cycling. And because you're defecting. So if you're going to defect and you want to repay us, then win like 50 gold. Be undeniable. But no, you're a weird, germy, wormy little English like poon. You're a weak English boy.
Who got you to this point, mate? The Australian know-how and Australian money. That's what fucking got you.
Can you find the quote? I swear the little mutt said like I couldn't see myself in like Australian colours. Like he actually said that. Apparently, he has a missus in the English riding team as well, so he's clearly a whip.
Oh, you're a cuck.
Yeah, he's a cuck.
You're a cuck. Come out and fucking call it how it is. You're a cuck. That's what it is. You can't see yourself in Australian colours. Well, stop fucking wearing them then. Mutt.
Which is technically, in fairness to him, that is what he is doing. But
well, you shouldn't have worn them in the first place. You know what I mean?
No.
If you couldn't see yourself wearing them, why'd you put them on in the first place?
Correct. He apparently he has like a 4-year ban between like international events or something.
Yeah, so if you defect, I think you're not allowed to represent the new country at the next like world championships. So I think he's got to wait like 2 years before he can actually represent Great Britain.
Is he trying to fight that though? Because the Australian cycling body.
Of course he would be.
So from what I've read is there's a quote here from him says, my understanding is the UCI regulations, what I signed in agreement to swapping nations, or when I did, his understanding is that he only has to miss the first World Championships and European Championship, and that's all. But I think Australia are now trying to enforce that 2-year ban, which would exceed these two upcoming tournaments.
Good.
It's up to the International Cycling Union to enforce
the ICU.
Yeah.
Who, we've had our run-ins with in the past, Ed, with the ICU. I'm just hoping that they do this time.
I think they need to, Tom, because I think there needs to be accountability for behaviour.
Yeah.
Particularly the lowest form of behaviour I've seen in professional sport.
Treason.
In all my years. This is the highest form of treason. This trumps fucking Eddie Jones, in my opinion. This is an absolute disgrace.
Fucking oath it trumps Eddie Jones.
The timing of this is so despicable. It is so disgraceful. Bite your mutt tongue for a second, right, and let the nation be proud of what it's achieved.
Yeah.
Instead of coming out and making it all about you. No one knows who the fuck you are, mate.
Yeah.
So just shut up for a second.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you're going to defect like a little fucking mutt worm that you are, then go and do it in 2 minutes' time and no one gives a shit anymore.
He would have been better off just not even saying anything. And just fucking
no one
off to
knows
Great
who you
Britain.
are, mate.
No one even
No
cares.
one knows who you are. No one knows you, mate.
Now we do. Now you're mate. You want to see death riding, bro?
Snake off to be a cuck. Go and appease your fucking English missus, which is obviously what you're doing because you're desperate for a route. Go and fucking do that on your own time, but not in the afterglow of Aussie success when we've just gone and taken 18 gold out of the mouths of the rest of the world. Okay, our biggest haul all time.
Yeah.
Let us marinate in that for a second, mate. Which
he didn't contribute a single one to.
No, of course he didn't, mate. Of course he didn't. Of course he fucking didn't. Absolutely disgraceful. Not an Australian alive that doesn't think this is the most low-life shit they've ever seen.
No, I think I did see, and I was, we got one, there was one comment that I saw which was like, oh, well, like, what's the difference between, like, Luai going and playing for Samoa? I'm like, there's, like, every single thing is different. Firstly, he's fucking, like, born and raised Samoan, but also he's not going back. The mutt isn't going back to bloody help some small minnow nation try and like realize greatness and he's going for cash. He's going for he's going for cash and for cuck. You got Luai there who's like, I'm going to go and play for Samoa. He also only played for Samoa. This guy's going, I'm going to play for Australia and then I'm going to go do Great Britain. Luai's like, no, I'm just going to play for Samoa, which is completely play on. And then he plays for his state. It's not the same thing at all.
Not the same thing. Also, just looking it up, Great Britain beat us in the medal tally. in track cycling at the Olympics.
Yeah. So exactly. He's trying to
they're not going to a minnow. He's not going to fucking Indonesia. You know what I'm saying?
No. Who are
Shout
good
out to
as a
them.
people,
But they
not
didn't-
big quads.
Well, not a big quad nation. Quads, huge quads are breathtaking. They stop in your tracks, and I've not been stopped in my tracks the whole time I've been here. The Netherlands, the Dutch, big bike people. I've got the medal tally here. They won. Kiwis, Aotearoa, our brothers over the fucking ditch. They come second. Then the United States. Then Great Britain. Then us. So he's going to someone who on the medal tally were more successful. Absolutely fucking disgraceful.
Yeah. Disgraceful.
So before he went to the Olympics, he packed up his house in Australia so that he wouldn't have to come back to Australia after the games.
So he knew. This guy's a fucking worm.
He was in Hong Kong with like the Australian team back in February, sneaking off to have meetings with Great Britain.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Back in Feb.
That is disgusting. This guy is one of the great pieces of shit of all time.
That is fucking foul.
He should never be allowed back in the country.
No, he shouldn't. I'd be showing up the passport.
Yeah. He's not Australian. Like you are no longer Australian, sir.
Sneaking around.
Before the Olympics, cunt.
And then packing everything up. So he said, I'd packed everything up in Australia before the Olympics, which was quite a stressful thing to do while also preparing for the games.
Oh, you poor thing.
But I knew I
You're a
needed to
cunt.
get it done so that when I left for
You're
the
a cunt.
games, there was no turning back. I could begin the
You're a
next
cunt.
chapter as early as possible and I wouldn't have to fly back to Australia to sort things out.
Yeah, what you don't want to do is come back to Australia and get fucking hung, drawn and quartered, dragged through the street behind a horse and cart and then have you fucking
Shame.
put you in the
Shame.
stocks and we throw rotten fruit at you.
Shame. Get the stocks out.
We should burn effigies of this piece of shit.
Let's fire the stocks up again.
We need to get like a big old effigy of this guy and set it on fire in the street.
Fucking disgraceful. He's got me fired up, that
Yeah,
little
he has.
mutt.
Anyway, fuck that guy. Positivity, Edward.
Yeah, bruh.
Mondo Duplantis breaks the world record again.
Did he?
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
By another centimetre?
Uh-huh. What is it?
Dude, he's the smartest guy in the fucking room. Because he gets
626.
He gets 100 grand. I don't know if that's euros or not. Every time he breaks the world record. So he's just going up by a centimetre. Check. I think what's that, the
It'd probably be
11th or 12th?
It was the 10th. Yeah.
10th.
So that's $1 million.
Who's paying him 100 grand every time he does it?
There must be like the Athletic Commission, like international, the IAC or whatever.
He'd have
it
him
is.
by the balls, that cunt. Because he's beating it handily. Like, didn't he at the Olympics? So he did 125 at the Olympics. Sorry, 625 at the Olympics.
Yep.
They then looked at what he actually beat it by, and it was like 670 or something.
675, I think it was.
So he's got, and again, I'm not the maths guy here, Eddie, but he's got a shitload of centimetres to go.
Well, he's got another about 5 million left, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just sensational.
Yeah.
Fucking Mondo. I can't believe they're still out there competing. I'd be like, feet up sort of
I
stuff.
know. Nina Kennedy's back over there jumping, who want to apologise to Nina Kennedy, who was meant to be on here last week. But I died. But
Sickness reigns supreme.
mate, she's back over there jumping. Mondo's jumping. Jess was back
They
in the
must
water
be-
paddling.
Is it the Diamond League?
Yeah,
in
it's still
Poland,
going.
Yeah. So that's where that cheddar comes from. So you got to get over there and you
You
got to
got to
rip
do
it.
it. But yeah, mate, Mondo didn't get to mac on with the misso. She wasn't there.
Oh, I didn't tongue on.
No tonguing on.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Dude, but how about Mondo? Just when you think about how long pole vaulting's been going on for,
We've been vaulting a long time. Yeah.
just the fact that there's someone that's come along. Like, what is it that this kid? I know he comes from jumping stock as well, but like, you can come along and be so much better than anyone in human history. Like, it's not just a little bit better; you're so much better than human history.
But the thing as well is like 6 meters was a big jump, right? Remember, we were looking it up, and that guy had the record for fucking 20 years till someone in like the French guy, maybe 2012 or 2015 or something, he broke it. And then Mondo's just dominated ever since. But in the final, 6 meters was like, it couldn't be done.
No, and he's just doing it every time. I just don't understand how that happens.
How you can be that much better.
Well,
I think just freaks come along, dude.
I know,
freaks
but it's
come
just
along.
I know they come along, but it's just interesting, I guess. Not like how does it happen?
And I wonder if there is an element of if there's a freak like Mondo that comes along, because it's equipment based as well, he's able to like really push the envelope ahead of his competition because he can master it. He's a master of his equipment. You know what I mean? Because you can use as long a pole as you fucking want, which technically means to me that there is sort of no limit to how high you can jump. And people can't handle that longer pole than he can.
Is he using a longer pole?
I would say so. He'd have to be.
Maybe, maybe not. Again, when it's centimeters, like it's not really going to be like obviously a pole has something to do with it, but you're not sort of because also the longer pole you have, the quicker you need to run, the harder you got to hit that fucking thing.
But he's quick. He's real
quick. Of course he is.
He's real quick. He's lightning.
But you got to be quick.
And he's ripped.
And he's ripped as shit. Anyway, I mean Mondo again, 1 centimeter at a time, baby.
Oh, it's just such smart rugby league fucking.
I'd love to get
dude.
Mondo on the podcast. Can someone fucking help us do that? He's a Puma
Anyone
athlete.
know Mondo?
Well, he's a Puma athlete.
Know Mondo?
Who's a Puma athlete? We know Ned Brockman.
Oh, Neddy.
Ned, can you get us Mondo, please? Can you get us the greatest pole vaulter of all time? I'd love to fucking get into it with Mondo.
Ned, come on, bro.
Let's put it out there. Let's try and find Mondo. Mate, fucking global pole vaulting needs a bit of. Now, you could argue that he's got, multiple millions of followers and that it's not necessarily comparable, but like, I think global pole vaulting needs us.
More than ever.
Yeah.
More than ever. Because there's 2 young fans over here who are prepared to help put pole vaulting on the map and in the mouths of the punter and the dribbler, which it hasn't been in.
No, it hasn't. And pole vaulting at its purest is as pure as anything you'll get.
Well, pole vaulting at its most purest, that's purity.
It is. Man,
pole,
jump.
Purity.
Height, jump, pole, man.
Leap.
Yep.
Jump,
man. Bendy
leap.
pole, man.
Bendy pole.
Bendy pole. All right, brah.
Love you, brah. Shout out to the punter, shout out to the dribbler. Happy birthday to Tobler.
Yeah.
I'll get you a Bing Tang singlet and
get me a Rocklex.
I'll get you a Rocklex. They're really nice. You're gonna love them. And shout out to Cody.
Get Cody some nose studs.
I'll get you a nice stud. Peace.
Ciao.
Could you two just not talk anymore?